Tell me, what's going on?
It's sad. Even hearing them right now, oh my God.
Did he have a big deal?
Am I happy with the outcome for Natalie and Collins? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I was becoming scared of Collins. His ability to sort of make this weird, strange laugh while things are falling apart, or his ability to sort of pretend. I don't know whether he didn't understand or whether he was pretending. Whatever he was doing was so creepy and so scary that I'm surprised Natalie stayed with him for that long. But anyway, I digress. Hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Married at First Sight, Australia, Season 11, Episode 6. Saying that of all the honeymoons that the producers could show us, they choose to show us the toxic ones, and it's like, why? You have Richard and Andrea. They are doing very well. I'm worried that it's just going to be a sexual attraction with nothing to it. So I really hope there's more depth to that relationship. Otherwise, it would be very sad for them to have gone through all this just for them to break up. You have Timothy and Lucinda. They are a revelation. Timothy is opening up to Lucinda. I think he's realizing that he's been matched with an amazing woman, and if he's not careful, he might lose her, and then he'll be back to being alone in the world. So I think this is why he's very empathetic about his response when he was asked whether he's attracted to Lucinda, but at the same time, he's trying his best to put in effort. While they were playing snooker, he was sort of cuddling her and sort of hugging her and making her see that he really liked her. You could see her sadness when he said, you have 40 friends. If I died, there wouldn't be 40 people at my funeral. So I have high hopes, and I really hope they make this work. You have Sarah and Tim. Sarah and Tim, that's another sexual relationship, in my opinion. I know there's slightly a bit more depth to Richard and Andrea, but with Sarah and Tim, I think it's just sex. They are now in a good place. They've had sex, and so they're happy to move on with their relationship. And it's like, oh, okay, if that's what works for you, that's it. And then Natalie and Collins, they need a divorce. They're another couple that needs a divorce because Collins is struggling. And I think they put two people that might be on the spectrum together. And because they don't complement each other in whatever makes them stand out from everybody else, this is why they're struggling. In my opinion, this is why they're struggling, because Natalie is too hyper, and Collins, although he's used to being hyper, he's overwhelmed because he's met his match and more. He's met someone who's even more hyper than he is. And I think at the start, he tried to be as hyper as her and realized that there was no ceiling to it. And so he switched off. He tried to take them to go fishing. She wasn't keen on that. They then went, to a desert to explore. She then started overheating. And so it's like, this couple needs to break up. There's no point in terrorizing people who really are not feeling each other that way. Maybe it's time for them to break up and move on and find somebody else. So all the couples come back from their honeymoons, and while everybody's preparing for the dinner party, the first dinner party, there is a secret that has been exposed. Jake, it seems, was in a relationship with someone and broke off the relationship to enter the show to be on Mavs. And it's like, am I surprised? No. And I feel sorry for Tori, really, because her friend is going to say, I told you so, which is always not a good look. And I think this is why I was asking that the friend not tell her, allow her time to get to know this man, because now all this drama is going to follow her. And also, she's going to feel guilty because she didn't listen to her friend and call the wedding off. In my opinion, that's what I think. It seems everybody is talking about it. It seems that's the only topic around the, all the apartments. Everybody then starts speculating who's going to confront Jake in regards what is going on, whether the story is true or fake. And it seems everybody's convinced that Lauren is going to say something because Lauren is best friends with Tori, so it's to be expected. And she's always very outspoken anyway, so I wouldn't be surprised if she says something because that's who she is or that's how she comes across. So I wouldn't be surprised if she confronts, Jake. And I want to see how he'll handle that, given the fact that he says, he's an alpha male and he doesn't take BS from everybody else. the dinner party, the couples arrive, and as they arrive, I got the impression that the producers made them arrive in the in the order of couples that are doing well, more or less, because you had Jaden and Eden arrive first, followed by Tristan and Cassandra, and we all know they're doing well. Why Sarah and Tim arrived next, I have no idea. And you also had Lucinda and Timothy arrived. They seem to be doing great. By the time we got to Richard and Andrea, you could tell all the couples were doing amazing. And so everybody's happy to see one another. They're just relaxed. They're, happy that they've come back from their honeymoons and they're now on their, first dinner party because I think everybody looks forward to it. And you then have these conversations going on with couples discussing the rumor about Jake and who knows about it. And the fact that whether I think they're trying to establish whether it was fake or whether it was genuine. And it seems the common theme is that it's genuine. Lauren arrived with Jonathan. They seem to be in a very happy place. Somehow they seem to have managed to make things work. So as people are sitting around and are having conversations, eventually you have Collins and Natalie arrive. And for me, that couple, I am happy with the result. I feel they should have left. It wasn't healthy. The way that Timothy was behaving, I'm very happy with the outcome of Timothy and Natalie. I feel they should have ended. They should have ended the day after wedding night. The moment he started putting a pillow fort, they should have ended. I think what happened was Collins came onto the show to be on Mavs, not because he was looking for love or looking to be married. There's something sort of scary about him, the way he behaves, in the sense that when Natalie was crying and you could see she was very tearful, he was making this awkward laugh and sort of trying to make light of everything. And you had Jaden say, I have a feeling that although Collins is crying crocodile tears, he's not as upset as he's making out because at the dinner party, at the dining table, they, Natalie stormed off after he had told her off that, why are you bashing our marriage? You need to speak highly of us as a couple. And then when she came back, I think she couldn't help it because most of the couples were being lovey-dovey and she didn't know how to process that. And so she eventually broke down and left. And Collins came and tried to make light of the whole situation by saying, oh, I didn't know things were this bad. I knew things were bad, but I didn't realize. It's like, where have you been hiding? We all could tell that things were bad. For you to say you didn't know things were bad, what do you mean? What do you mean? I don't get it. Anyway, you then have all the couples sort of sit and wait, for Jake and Tori. And so when Jake arrives, he says, he doesn't care what people say. If anyone has anything to say, he's going to tell them to F off. And it's like, oh my God, when did we get down this rabbit hole? Why would you want to swear at anyone? You are the one who's in the wrong. You need to explain yourself. Don't make it seem like the other girl is mad or crazy or losing her mind just because she's called you out for your bad behavior. You know what you did. Take it and own it with your full chest and keep it moving. It was interesting with the sitting chart in the sense that Lucinda and Timothy were sitting opposite Richard and Andrea. And so there was this sort of maturity that end of the table as compared to the opposite end because they were talking about their connections. And I like the fact that they were able to discuss, that they'd become physically intimate. And the way Lucinda is able to pry information out of people and just calm the situation, I think this is one of the things that is making Timothy be so drawn to her. They're having this conversation. Everybody can tell that Richard and Andrea really like one another, and there is a possibility that they could go the long haul. But then with Mavs, you can never tell. Anything could come out of left field, and they could split up. And then Jaden decided to bring up the issue about Jake. And Jake had been sort of hyping himself and saying all this stuff because he said, if anyone comes at me, then I'm going to come at them. Because first of all, Jake tried to talk about, while I was on our honeymoon, I ate a lot. I put on 5 pounds, a lot of weight just from eating. And then I was able to come back and work it off. I think he was bragging, thinking, since I'm speaking to someone who, prides themselves on looking after their body because, he's a boxer, I think he thought he could get away with that. And so for Jaden to come out of left field and sort of bring up the conversation about Jake's ex that everybody was questioning, you could see that he was afraid of Jaden, in my opinion. He couldn't challenge him for what he said. So instead, he just pretended to go along with it. And then once the conversation started, I don't know why nobody else wanted to bring smoke. I don't know whether it's because everybody was worried that when they have a problem in their relationship, he could come after them. And so for him to try and criticize his ex-girlfriend, ex-fiance, ex whatever, doesn't make sense. Oh, we're an exclusive, non-committal relationship. And it's like, how are you exclusive if it's not going anywhere? Why? What are you doing? Are you testing the waters to see if it can really go somewhere, or are you? I don't get it. And so for him to try and belittle the girl he was dating prior to being in the experiment and to make it seem like she's losing her marbles, I didn't get it. I think he's very manipulative. I think he prides himself on being able to sort of play these mind games with women, because you could see Tori, for someone who says, she's a strong, independent woman who's able to speak up for herself, to see how she cowered down like a little baby and allowed this man to say and do whatever he was saying. I'm surprised none of the other men sort of challenged him. And so for her to come back and say, well, we talked about this, I'm good, and I think we will, we need to move on from this talking point. And it's like, did you watch Mavs UK? Did you see how Shona was being manipulated by her husband? This is exactly what you're doing. You are shrinking into a shell of your former self. You are sort of losing your ability to advocate for yourself, because whatever this man tells you is what you go by. And I'm surprised that, Lauren didn't ask him anything else. You could tell he was waiting for Lauren to say something. Jake was waiting for Lauren. Had Lauren been the one who brought up that question, he would have blown up. But because it was Jaden, he was worried about Jaden and the ability, or he's worried about his ability to sort of take on Jaden. This is why he tried to sort of minimize everything and sort of silence the conversation. And then, for him to be patronizing towards Tori and say, oh, Tori is one of the most emotionally intelligent people. It's like, but you just told her you're not attracted to her. Now you're saying that's something that attracts you. Which is it? Are you attracted to her, or are you not attracted to her? Make it make sense, because I seriously don't get it. Oh my God, he got on my nerves. Anyway, it was a great episode. I really enjoyed it. I wish there was more to come out of the dinner party. Yes, I'm happy that Natalie can go home and rest and be at peace and sort of go into counseling, because that man was only worried about being on the show, because you could see the clip of him sort of pacing up and down and say, oh, look at them enjoying themselves, I'm not able to be with them. And it's like, you are not here to play games. You are here to get married. You chose not to be serious about your relationship. So please pack your bags and go. Anyway, I digress. Thanks, guys, for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 5. Bye, guys.